And welcome back to Friday Briefing. Thank you so much for staying with us. I'm seeing the very many questions coming through. Keep them coming, hashtag Friday Briefing, or you can tweet me at Betty M. Kialo. We're about to have a very interesting conversation. I have the SONU chair, Paul Ongili, but better known as Babu Owino, and he is now a political aspirant. Yes. Welcome to Friday Briefing.
Thank you, Betty.
So shortly you'll be reading the news for us.
It's okay, I'll try.
We've seen you out there in the streets, doing all sorts of things. Is this something you think you'll be good at?
Reading the news, maybe. I'm not trained at it, but I'll try.
You'll try?
Definitely, I know how to read.
Okay, you know how to read.
Yes.
Someone asked that on Twitter. So first things first. When I said you're coming, very many people were saying the first question you need to ask him is what does TBIM mean? Because as late as Wednesday, when we had that NASA or opposition convention or meeting at Bomas,
yes,
we were hearing that word being chanted all over the place. Where did this word come from? Because you started it.
Betty, this word came from Greece. It is a Greek word meaning revolution.
Really?
And,
Greece?
It was being used by a warrior, serious warrior from Greece. He was called the Agothelias the Sicilis. Now, this was a very strong warrior. Before he went for war, he used to motivate his troops by saying the word TBIM. Then after that, they could multiply their opponents by 0 and raise power infinity. From
Greece, you said?
Yes.
So I'll ask my Twitter followers and anybody who's watching to just check that up.
Yes.
Is that true that TBIM is a Greek word?
It is a Greek word.
That means revolution,
yes,
like an awakening.
Yes.
Because there's another description, but we won't go there. But please help me check that out. I won't check it because I'm on air right now, but please check it for me and tell me. All right, so talk to us about Babu Owino. Where, first of all, did that name come from? Because you are Paul Ongili.
Actually, Babu Owino is my name. It's in the national ID.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you have like 6 names in there?
No, I have 4 names. I'm Paul Ongili Babu Owino. Okay. So it's a name that I used to be called by my parents when I was growing up. Okay. Yes. Babu is a wise man. So probably they saw a lot of wisdom
when you were younger.
When I was younger. Yeah.
And now that we're talking about, you growing up and everything.
Yes.
So where did you grow up? Did you grow up here in Nairobi?
I grew up in Kisumu, Nyalenda slums. And life was not...
Nyalenda slums?
Yes, in Nyalenda slums. Life was not a cup of tea. Neither was it a bed of roses. So we had to struggle with our mom. Our dad passed away. We're in a family of 3. And I'm the last born. So we had to struggle. And, life is about struggling. Right. And it's not about losing hope.
Okay.
Yes.
So then you come to Nairobi and you join the University of Nairobi.
Yes. Before I joined the University of Nairobi, I was called at Egerton University. But I opted to... I decided to join and do A-levels, that's from 5 and 6, the Cambridge system. Was called to take actuarial science in Southampton University. Awarded 70% scholarship because I was number 2 in mathematics in the whole world.
The whole world?
Yes.
How is that possible? And I think mathematics...
we were doing the Cambridge system. Okay. So in the Cambridge system, I became number 2 in the whole world, scored 97%. So I was offered 70% scholarship, but I couldn't afford 30%. That's why I decided to join University of Nairobi. All right. The University of Nairobi.
The University of Nairobi.
Yes. Took my first degree in actuarial science and scored first class honors. Now I'm taking law.
So you already graduated with the first...
Yeah, first class honors actuarial science, 2012.
And so are you practicing in that line?
I'm already doing my papers, the actuarial papers. Then after that, I'll open an actuarial firm. When I clear law, I'll open a law firm. So
let me ask, so the reason you're doing the second degree, what is that reason? Is it that you still want to be a leader at the university?
The perception.
What is that all about?
Betty, most people think that when I'm doing another degree is that I want to be a leader in the university. No, it's because when I was growing up, I was being told that education is the key to success. So I don't see the problem of having many keys to success. Furthermore, I'm gaining knowledge. So if I want to do 1 degree, 2 degrees, 10 degrees, that's my business and it is nobody's business. Yes. So they call you the Mugabe of University of Nairobi because you have been there for, is it 6 years? I've been in the university long enough, from 2008 to 2012. That was my first degree in actuarial science. I took 4 years. And these people think that I'm an academic orphan.
Yes,
they
yes.
should think twice because...
Actually, they call you a career student, like you're
They call
studying
me a
for
career
certain-
student,
yeah.
but I joined university in 2008, did my first degree, graduated in 2012, 4 years course. Then after that, joined in 2013. Now I'm a fourth-year student in law. I've never scored an E or a D in any of my units. So maybe people have been having a perception about Babu. This is an intelligent young man. They should know.
I'm sure they hear you.
Yes.
So let's talk about your leadership.
Yes.
From the moment you come in, you're from Kisumu, you join the University of Nairobi.
Yes.
I mean, what prompted you to want to be a leader? Is it that you just wanted a position of power, or you actually had an agenda for students?
I think I've been a leader all through, from primary school. I've been a leader.
Were you a head boy or something?
Yes, I was a head boy. Then after that, at Kisumu Boys, I was also a leader. A-levels, I was a head student. Then when I joined the University of Nairobi, from first year, I was a leader. Yes. So I think it's a calling.
And all these years that you have been in leadership, can you confidently say that you have done something for the students of the University of Nairobi?
Betty, the writing is on the wall. You've been seeing how I fight for the inherent rights of our comrades. You see how the policemen are chasing me around just for the sake of fighting for the interest of the students. And we've managed to fight and protect the interest of the students, not only religiously, but also spiritedly. And they know, and everybody knows, it's not only the student that we fight for. When I fight for, when the government wants to increase university fees, and I'm against it, is the idea of fighting for the students, even the parents of the students, even the friends of the students. So it's about fighting for the whole nation. So my history has been known as a history of fighting for the interest of the oppressed.
But you're also known as a chaotic leader, because we've seen you lead serious protests, and I'm sure very many Kenyans who are watching, maybe they've been involved in a situation where the university students are rioting in the CBD, and you have been right at the helm of that. I mean, what can you say about this protest that turned really ugly most of the times?
You see, Betty, the other day doctors were striking. They were on the streets. Now, it later on turned violent at a specific time. What can you say about the doctors? That they were chaotic. Demonstration is a right that is enshrined in the Kenyan Constitution, and everybody's a peaceful demonstration. But you see, what happens is that the boys in blue, the policemen, they start something which is very crazy, like throwing tear gas at us. Now, when that happens, definitely people will start running, and there's a lot of commotion. And I think that is the perception that they take to, they misconstrue it to mean the chaotic part of it.
But it turns
But all in all,
chaotic,
it has
Babu.
been peaceful. It has been peaceful until the point when the police start rioting. That's when we now try to control them. You see, these are intellectuals and the police on the other side. When we peacefully demonstrate, they start rioting with the tear gas, throwing tear gas at people.
Intellectual.
No, they are intellectual.
Yeah.
They're intellectual.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, I mean, also apart from the protests that we see with the University of Nairobi students, I mean, a number of times about different issues. I mean, even yourself as a person, you're very dramatic. We've seen you in the police stations, all sorts of stories coming out. What is that all about?
You see, Betty, when you're in politics and when you're in a position of leadership, there's some things called the occupational hazards. So whatever happens are occupational hazards. It is something that you choose, you take the consequences. And if you choose to fight for the interest of the oppressed, so be it. If somebody wants to kill you because you're fighting for the interest of the oppressed, let that person kill you. We are not scared by anything. We cannot be cowed due to the fact that a policeman is carrying a gun and a tear gas. We will not, and we shall never relent. We'll always continue to fight for the interest of the people that we represent.
I'd like to hear your thoughts about, you are going for political office, Embakasi East, Member of Parliament seat. I can imagine that, the leadership at the university level is very different from national politics and national leadership. Do you think you're ready for that? And what is it that you're offering, and what is it that you're going to do differently from the incumbent?
I think, Betty, leadership is leadership, and leadership comes from God. it is God who decides that it is the right time for Babu to lead, and I think it is the right time for me to lead. I've led at the university. The kind of people that we lead are the same Kenyans who are living outside the university. So I don't see a big difference between the university students and the normal Kenyans.
But here you're dealing with
these are the
a larger
same
population.
At the university, I think being a leader of all the universities, which has more than 2 million students in the whole nation, I think it's bigger than Embakasi East as a constituency. So if I could lead the students in the whole nation, then I can lead Embakasi residents.
But do you have an agenda as much as
Definitely, you see, the most important thing that you're going to do as a leader is to lead and to consult through my leadership. We know what's happening in the slums. Most of Nairobi is slum-related. 60% of Nairobians or Kenyans live in slums. And when these people live in slums, what they lack, we have employment opportunities that they lack. Once we solve the issue of unemployment in Kenya or in Embakasi East, then so many things can be resolved. The issues of insecurity will just fix themselves up. Issues of health, education has to come up. And generally, look at Embakasi East. We have airport JKIA is in Embakasi East constituency. When we talk to the management of JKIA, anybody owning a company in JKIA should and must provide employment opportunity to members of Embakasi East. Anybody having an industry in Embakasi East must provide employment opportunity to members of Embakasi East. We have to boost the education system in Embakasi East because we have very few public schools and that's primary and secondary. Even private schools are very few, so we need to boost the level of education in Embakasi East also.
But how different will you be? Because we've seen young people, finally get to the position of leadership, but then they just turn out to be the same as the other crop of leaders who were there
Betty,
before.
The reason why I've been elected 4 times is because I'm a person who delivers. I've been elected 4 times, 3 times consecutively at the University of Nairobi. That means that I'm a person who delivers. I'm a person who will not run away from the constituents. Because what is the need of me going to my constituents now? Then when I get the position, when I'm in the position as a member of the National Assembly, then I run away from them. My leadership is going to be for the people, by the people, and with the people. It is going to be an all-inclusive leadership where members of Embakasi East are solely going to benefit from my leadership.
But you know, they said leadership is very sweet, and once you get to that point where you're a leader, you kind of like forget why you got there in the first place.
Already I'm a leader, and I've never forgotten why I'm here in this position, and my constituents can attest to that. So it is not something that is going to blind me, and I don't even want members of Embakasi East to call me Mheshimiwa, because I think the word Mheshimiwa, I think it has some juju in it. When you're called Mheshimiwa, it makes you probably feel that you're big and you can't resonate with your people, you can't come down to your people. Let my people call me Babu Owino, because me as a leader, my intention is going to serve them, to lead them.
Okay. All right.
Okay?
We don't want to turn this into a campaign. I can tell you're already campaign mode. You are a family man. Just before we get to you reading the news, you have two kids?
Yes. I have 2 kids. I have a son and a daughter. I have a beautiful wife that I'm married to. We've been together for 7 years.
7 years?
Yes. But I have to keep my family so private from my political activities.
All right.
Yes.
Let's continue with this conversation later on here on the show. Keep your tweets coming. For now, I want you to do something for me. Let's go to the news desk.
Yes.
Yeah, just follow me. You've handled tougher situations than this one.
No, it's easy.
Oh, it's easy. Wow, let's see how easy it is. So have a seat.